Sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn your notifications so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the love, the support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So today we'll be checking out an interview David Friedman actually did, and he was in denial about the Israel global the whole war that is going on, and he went further to tell a lot of lies. And I am still asking myself, how do these people, or what do they even think we are? They actually think that we are senseless, like we don't know what is going on. We don't see what is going on. I mean, the whole genocide that is happening, that is very obvious, that is being televised, and the truth is all out there. And this man has the guts to come out to lie on national television. And also, this is a reminder that we are boycotting so many things. McDonald's, Starbucks, Apple, Samsung, all of them, Disney, boycotting them. Because this is how we can help these people, because they are the people supplying things to them. And also, you all already know what is going on in Congo. So, I mean, boycotting. Let's get into this video.
Okay, if you have not seen this interview, stop what you're doing and watch it. This is Mark Lamont Hill interviewing former Israeli ambassador from the Trump administration, David Friedman. In this interview, you'll hear Mark confront David about the war crimes that have been committed by the Israeli government. I want you to pay attention to how David navigates this interview and continue to cover the war crimes that have been committed by the Israeli government.
Well, Mark, Israel's not committing any war crimes at all. And, under international law, Israel has the right to defend itself. I think everybody agrees. I think everybody agrees that Israel has the right to eradicate Hamas. Hamas has embedded itself within a civilian population. This is a cynical and a horrible organization. I'm sure you recognize that. And if you say that Israel can't defend itself, that they can't attack Hamas, then what you're really saying is that Israel has no right or ability to exist, because if they don't eradicate
but
Hamas...
David, let me pause you for a second, because just to be clear...
you're interrupting me.
No, you're misrepresenting my statement. I didn't say that Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself. The question is Israel committing war crimes? The right to defend oneself is not unlimited under international law. And so the question is, outside of just saying we have the right to defend ourselves, is it a war crime? You said the international community agrees. The international community doesn't, in fact, agree.
No. The international community agrees that Israel has the right to attack Hamas. Okay, period. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. I don't think there's a single nation in the
Arab world. Yeah, that's not in debate. That's what I'm saying. That's a straw man. No one is arguing that they don't have the right to respond.
Mark,
the question is, do they have? Let's
have a conversation.
I'm trying to. What I'm saying is, that's why I want to avoid the straw man. I don't want to waste your time debating whether or not Israel has a right to defend itself. We agree that it has a right to defend itself against Hamas, or to respond to this attack. That's not what's in dispute. The question is, are the attacks proportionate? Are the attacks sufficiently discriminate, i.e. not attacking civilians when it's avoidable? Are they not attacking targets that are deemed untargetable by international law? These are the questions. Just to give you one example, and I'd love your response to this. The UN called Israel's bombing of the Jabalia refugee camp, quote, a brazen violation of international law and a war crime. So clearly the international community isn't in entire agreement with you here.
Yeah, look, Mark, I don't really care what the UN says. I mean, the UN has not been fair about this issue for the last 50 years. Here is the reality. Under international law, Israel has a right to attack Hamas. Under international law, when you attack an enemy, when you target an enemy, to the extent that there is collateral damage against civilians, it's not against... Mark, you're interrupting me.
No, I'm asking, it's a clarifying question. What law? What law? You said, what law?
I said under the international laws of war.
What international? I'm asking because I'm appealing to your expertise. What international rules of war say that you can attack Hamas in the way that the Israeli state has? Which one?
Every single law of war says...
I need you to name one. Sir, that's not an honest answer. Which one? Just saying international law doesn't make it one. The international law is not a magic book. Which international law?
There is a body of international law that deals with collateral damage. Israel is not targeting a single civilian. They're targeting Hamas. Wherever they identify Hamas, they attack Hamas. If Hamas is embedded with children, Israel will do everything it can to avoid those casualties.
But you said something else that I think is also interesting. You said that there's collateral damage in all war, and that a body of international laws, which you still haven't named any, say that collateral damage is permissible within war. I agree that collateral damage is permissible within war. Again, that's not in dispute. What's in dispute is whether civilians can be deemed sufficient collateral damage, or whether civilians can be within the realm of the target if it's avoidable. Targeting a refugee camp, Jabalia refugee camp, is not an example of targeting Hamas and there's just a few casualties. Targeting a refugee camp where there are children, targeting hospitals and mosques and churches are all direct violations of international law, despite the fact that you keep saying that it isn't. And we can move on because there are lots of things I want to
No, let's not move on. No, let's not.
Okay, for sure.
Let's not move on. Let's not move on.
Fine.
Let's stay right there.
Let's-
Tell me which hospital. Tell me which hospital that Israel has targeted. Tell me which one. You said Israel targets hospitals. The only hospital that got targeted so far in this war was targeted by Islamic Jihad.
Okay.
Don't tell me about. And by the way,
is that a question? I'm happy to answer it. I'm happy to answer the question if you're asking me.
It's been proven with certainty. It's been proven with certainty that the headquarters of Hamas is under the Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. Now, you know what happened a couple of days ago?
Proven by
Hamas had a big
hold on.
Mark, are you going to let me finish?
I
Mark,
can't allow you to.
let me
I
finish.
cannot allow you to say 15 things that are unfactual and not be challenged on them. I'm happy to let you talk, but I'm going to ask
You're
clarifying
going to tell
questions.
me it was factual? Mark,
Yes,
Mark, I spent 5 years of my life studying this, living it. When was the last time you were in Gaza, Mark? When was the last time you were in Gaza?
18 months ago. When was the last time you were in Gaza? When was the last time you were in Gaza?
A few years ago.
Okay, so you said Al-Shifa Hospital has been proven Hamas headquarters. What independent reference, what source, what investigation has proven that? Who has proven that it's an Al-Shifa hospital since it's been a proven fact? Who proved it?
So now we're going to get into this basic, like, Holocaust denying idea that evidence that Israel has shown is not valid. I mean, is that what you're doing? Do you deny that people were raped?
Everybody that challenges you is not doing Holocaust denial. You said that it's a Hamas headquarter. I simply asked you. For evidence of it. I said who, and you immediately equated it to Holocaust denial.
Israel has presented evidence. Ask the CIA. Ask anybody who studies
the CIA,
this.
sir.
Yeah. You don't trust the government. You don't trust the American government. You don't trust the Israeli government. Who should we trust? Hamas? You want to trust Hamas? Go ahead, trust Hamas.
Okay.
The people that destroy lives.
David, here's the point. David, here's the point. Under Article 8 of the Rome Statute and under Article 33 of the 1949 Geneva Convention, international law forbids the targeting of civilians. Do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay. Would you agree that targeting a refugee camp that has children in it and adults who are non-Hamas members, who are not actors in the military, would constitute targeting a civilian?
I completely disagree with that. Completely disagree. If Israel is targeting Hamas in a refugee camp and it's pinpointing its attacks on Hamas and there is collateral damage, there's collateral damage. That's war. That's called war. WAR. That's what it is.
So here's the challenge, David. Israel argues that Hamas is everywhere in Gaza, that they're under every hospital, that they're in every university, that they're in every refugee camp. You agree with that, right? We can agree to that.
No, Israel does not think they're everywhere. Israel thinks that they are where they are. And those are in many, but not all, civilian locations.
So the challenge is, by that logic, virtually every civilian location is vulnerable and viewed as a legitimate target. And so what happens is thousands of innocent people die. Again, when you bomb a refugee camp, there's no reason to believe that it's the only way that you get at a Hamas target. When a hospital is bombed, there's no reason to believe that's the only way to do this. And if you know that the quote-unquote collateral damage, as you call it, is thousands of civilians, then yes, it seems like an improper thing. But again, it's not just me saying this. The UN, the International Red Cross, all of these bodies, including outside of the UN, who you said you don't respect, they also agree that these are war crimes. So why does the entire international community believe that these are war crimes and not you?
So, because I think I have an unbiased view, and I think there's a lot of anti-Semitism in the world.
So for all my vote blue, no matter who folks, explain to me this. Why, when Joe Biden just now 8 hours ago was asked, what are the chances for a Gaza ceasefire? This man says none, period, no chance, period. This man, we've been seeing the numbers go up and up and up. Forced displacement, 10,000 dead, half of them children, women having surgery with no anesthesia. And this man says there is no chance for a ceasefire. You get 4 hours a day to evacuate and that's it. And you guys don't think that there is something greater at play? Similarly, when Angie Nixon was on the floor begging for a ceasefire and she asked, how many more Palestinians need to die before y'all call for a ceasefire? Why did Michelle Salzman shout out all of them? All of them. The lack of care shown to PR and optics from the United States politicians lets me know exactly where you guys are and where we are going. They know what's going on and they're doing it on purpose.
If you're staying up to date and staying in the know and staying invested in all of the atrocities taking place around the world right now, from Sudan to Congo to Palestine, and you feel like you're going crazy, you're not going crazy. These things are crazy. These things are horrific and horrendous, and you are having the correct emotional response. Everyone else isn't. Like, it feels ludicrous to watch a little boy cry about having to hold a headless body, or to witness hospitals and churches and refugee camps and schools burn, or to see a father holding the body parts of his children in grocery bags, and then turn your head and see other people tell you that it's not really happening, or that it's all fabricated, or that it's somehow justified. It feels crazy. It feels bonkers that a war was going on for over half a year and you likely didn't hear about it until a couple of weeks ago, and no one else is talking about it, and it's just happening. Or the new knowledge is just for you to have a cell phone where you get to learn this kind of stuff and see these kind of horrors. Other horrors are taking place. Millions of people have been displaced. Thousands have been murdered. Children are working in fields with toxins that are poisoning their bodies, and 48 women an hour are being SA'd. And the feminist rights groups and the pro-women groups and the pro-children groups are just crickets in the background. They're calling it a silent genocide. Those words should even belong together. You feel crazy. You're not. The world is burning, and the people with the most power to do anything about it are telling you to look away, to mind your business, or that you're the bad guy and that you're the problem. You're not. You are an empathetic person who cares, and that caring matters right now. It matters so much. And I get it, because I also feel batty. This is my every waking thought. I am slacking as a teacher and an advisor and as a friend and a loved one, and maybe it's me needing to pick up the slack. Or maybe it's the rest of the world that needs to learn how to care. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's not you. Maybe we're not crazy. Maybe everyone else is. Hey, Black folk, y'all's allyship should not be transactional either. I get it. We're tired of being there for everybody and nobody's ever there for us. Yeah, it sucks. Your allyship, your moral code, your moral values should not be transactional. You do not only help people because you expect them to help you back. Injustice begets injustice. We cannot take on the stance of our oppressor because we feel like no one is ever on our side in solidarity. That's not how this is supposed to work. If we are the freedom fighters and the liberators and the social change makers that we claim we are, that we consistently want to be, this, oh, they don't help us, so we can't help them, we can't take a stance, has to end. We got to dead it. Because not only is it untrue, as Palestinians have stood by us time and time again, even as recently as the 2020 protests where they are giving us tips on how to deal with the police because their oppressor and our oppressor are trained together, it is sick and unfair. Allyship is not transactional. Doesn't matter if you are a part of the LGBTQ community and people are saying, oh, well, they would condemn you there. Or if you're Black and you're in this weird mentality of, well, they don't stand by us. It doesn't matter, because right now, a crime, a injustice, a genocide is happening, and we should have the moral fiber to stand up against that regardless of who helps us. But also, it's just untrue, and it's just a lazy cop-out for y'all to get away from having to do the emotional labor of the right thing.
One thing that hasn't sat right with me in regards to how a lot of people have finally been waking up to the mass atrocities going on around the world is when I hear people ask questions like, how can our government fund genocide? How can our politicians be so inhumane? When did the country get to this point? And the answer to that question would be because you were late to the fight. And I know that may suck to hear for some people, but it's the truth. Do you think if you were to bring these issues to a Black person, a brown person, or indigenous person, even if they never heard about these issues before, do you think they would be shocked? No. No, they wouldn't. And do you know why? Because black people have been telling y'all this is America for centuries, for decades. We have been letting y'all know how fucked up this country really is, how fucked up the leaders of this country really are. But y'all let our words fall on deaf ears. Indigenous people have been telling y'all how fucked up this country really is since the jump. Y'all let that fall on deaf ears. Brown people, they have been letting y'all know that this country is fucked up. Y'all let that fall on deaf ears. They tried to tell y'all about the fuckery going on in the Middle East back in the late 90s. Osama bin Laden left us a letter letting you know why he hated America. Do you think black people are honestly shocked that America can fund multiple genocides and fund multiple proxy wars around the world? No, because America has funded a war against black and brown people in this country since the fucking start. You talking to a group of people who has had every political leader assassinated. Anybody with any type of social clout in the black community that wants the betterment for the black community assassinated. Whether that's here in America, over in Africa, because we can't forget about Gaddafi. And it's happened all around the fucking world. Talk to people in South America, you think they shocked? No. But because y'all let the plight of black people, indigenous people, brown people fall on deaf ears, now we're here. Now everybody's scrambling. What do we do? What do we do? I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to fund a genocide. Oh my God, running around with chickens like their heads cut off. We wouldn't be here if y'all would have listened to black people from the jump. We wouldn't. Because we would have nipped this shit in the bud. We would have ended this regime a long time ago if y'all just would have listened to everybody else. But nah, y'all was too comfortable getting close to white supremacy. Y'all loved y'all little Starbucks, right? Now everybody boycotting Starbucks. Nah. Y'all loved y'all little Starbucks. Y'all was going on about y'all merry way. Whenever a young black man was killed in the streets, people, well, what did he do? Whenever they would send bombs over to the Middle East, well, we got to get those terrorists. Whenever they would kick Native Americans off their land, well, we need somewhere to live. Oh, but now because everything is happening all at once, we got Palestine, we got Congo, we got Haiti, we got Sudan. We got inflation over here in this country. We got shitty candidates. Now it's everybody's problem. Now everybody seems to care. But when it was only a problem of a few, nobody ever listened. The lesson of this video isn't to shame anybody about getting educated on the issues going on around the world, but it's to teach people to listen to black people when we speak. Listen to indigenous people when we speak. Listen to brown people when we speak, because we have something to say.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of people talk about the boycotts recently, and I've seen people who've been like, I don't give a fuck what we're boycotting. Like, I want Starbucks, so I'm going to be getting Starbucks in the morning. And then people have kind of like piggybacked off that and been like, why do we even need a boycott in the first place? Like, this has nothing to do with us. And so I want to say, first of all, how fucking pathetic are you? And let me say this also. Maybe it comes from a lack of understanding, but fundamentally, all the atrocity that have been happening in Palestine, that have been happening in Tigray, that have been happening in Sudan, that have been happening in Congo, they're all caused by the same things, right? All the bad things that have happened throughout history essentially have been caused. You can simplify it down to pretty much the same things: imperialism and capitalism. That greed for money and power that the few percent have is what has led this. Is what has caused this. The systems in place here that hold black people back, it's a direct line to that. So then, if we understand that these are all the same things, you then understand why you have to fight for people across the globe who are dealing with atrocities, because it's the same issues there that are hurting us here. It's the same thing. Also, you should just have empathy, even if it had nothing to do with you. You should just have empathy at the end of the day. Like, damn, these niggas is like they're dying. Like, what you need more than that? After understanding that, then we can move on to the boycotts. Throughout history, boycotting has just been something that people have done because they know if you make the logical connection here. If people are run by money, if the government is run by money, if these billion-dollar corporations are going to do whatever they want to do because of money, you then boycott to keep the money from them as best as you can, as best as we the people can. That's the whole point. When in India, when they were trying to get rid of their British colonizers, they were boycotting. That's like Gandhi's whole thing, right? And then which then led to Martin Luther King always talking about how we need to be boycotting, and him using things that he has seen of other countries where they were boycotting. That's what we were boycotting here. When I hear people be like, I don't give a fuck, I'm not boycotting Starbucks. You one of those same people. If you saw Rosa Parks sitting on a bus, you would have been like, go to the back. What the fuck are you doing over here? You know how crazy you sound? To bring it to Ethiopia, when Ethiopia was getting attacked by Italy during World War II, well, we were attacked twice, but when we were attacked one of the times, Black Americans here were boycotting Italian American shops in New York to show support to us because Black Americans here wanted to go and help in the war, but they couldn't. And so because of that, they were like, okay, we're going to boycott Italian Americans here. And it showed a lot of support. It brought us together. Like this boycotting, you being like, nigga, I don't want. Fuck Starbucks. I'm going to get something else. I'm going to get coffee from somewhere else. That's all it takes. It's so simple, and it brings us together. And to anyone who hasn't been boycotting but who wants to start, like after watching this video, if you're like, damn, you know what? Let me not get some Starbucks. That's cool. I won't get some McDonald's. Just start now. It's never too late. I just found out. Someone told me in my comment section that I'm not supposed to be eating Burger King like 3 days ago. I didn't know, but I won't be getting Burger King from now on. It's as easy as that. If I want a burger, I'm gonna make a burger now. And it's really that simple. You want coffee? I guess you could learn how to make some coffee.
That's all I got from this video. And before I continue, I want to say a very big shout out to all my African Americans. I mean, all the Black melanated people. And I don't know wherever you're coming from, I am saying shout out to you all. I mean, you all have been at the forefront of everything going on, and that really shows how much you all care about almost everybody, irrespective that people do not also return back the love. You all are still out there showing love and all that to everybody. And then, like one of the sisters said, let our love not be transactional. There is nothing as beautiful as knowing that this is bad, and you stand against it and say it is bad, and it is bad, right? That is one of the most beautiful things any human being anywhere can ever do. Knowing that something is bad and standing up against it, that is absolutely beautiful. And you all have proven to everybody that you all are giving out their support, irrespective of anything that has happened or that is still happening to you, or you all are still standing tall, fighting for everybody. I really love that spirit. It is just amazing. And also, you all can see the interview the man granted. That really shows a lot. That tells you a lot. How they have been lying. The lies are, I don't know how people wake up to a whole genocide and they are still lying about it. Sometimes I ask myself, is there even heaven? And I hope some people will never see that heaven. People like this. Because, it's just really outrageous. How an old man is saying something like this. He's saying that Israel have every right to protect themselves. Are they protecting themselves from Hamas, or they are killing innocent Palestinians? Make this make sense, because this is not even making sense. And to all my kings and queens, a very big shout out, huge shout out to you all. I love you all and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.